Right now, in this very moment, you are exactly where you need to be. And I know that might sound strange to you, especially if you're struggling, especially if you're waiting for something to change in your life, especially if you've been praying and hoping and wishing for something to manifest. But here's what I want you to understand. The universe is not against you. The universe is not making you wait because you're not worthy. The universe is responding to your energy, to your vibration, to what you're putting out there every single moment of every single day. You see, we've been taught to work hard, to struggle, to fight for everything we want. We've been taught that if we're not exhausted at the end of the day, we haven't done enough. We've been taught that suffering is noble, that pain is required, that we must earn our blessings through blood, sweat, and tears. And I'm here to tell you that this is one of the biggest lies we've ever been sold. It's time to let that go. It's time to understand that there's another way, a better way, a way that actually works with the laws of the universe instead of against them. When I say relax and trust, I'm not talking about being lazy. I'm not talking about sitting on your couch and waiting for $1 million to fall from the sky. What I'm talking about is understanding the difference between effort and struggle. What I'm talking about is knowing that when you're in alignment with source energy, when you're in harmony with the infinite intelligence that creates worlds, things flow to you easily and effortlessly. Not because you're special, not because you're better than anyone else, but because that's how the universe works. That's how it's always worked. That's how it will always work. Think about a seed planted in the ground. Does that seed struggle to become a flower? Does it worry and fret and lose sleep, wondering if it's going to make it? No, that seed trusts the process. That seed knows that it has everything it needs within itself to become what it's meant to become. It doesn't question whether the sun will shine or whether the rain will come. It simply grows. It simply becomes. And you are no different than that seed. You have within you right now everything you need to become who you're meant to be, to create what you're meant to create, to live the life you're meant to live. But here's where we get stuck. We don't trust. We don't relax. We're constantly in our heads, constantly worrying, constantly trying to figure out how it's all going to happen. We want to control every step of the process. We want to know exactly when and how and where our good is going to come to us. And in that state of worry, in that state of fear, in that state of trying to control everything, we actually push away the very things we're trying to attract. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. Your thoughts create your reality. Not sometimes, not occasionally, not just when you're feeling good, all the time. Every single thought you think is creating your future. Every single feeling you feel is sending out a signal to the universe. And the universe always, always, always responds to that signal. It has to. It's law. It's not personal. It's not arbitrary. It's as reliable as gravity. So when you're sitting there worrying about how you're going to pay your bills, when you're stressed about when your breakthrough is going to come, when you're frustrated because nothing seems to be working, you're actually creating more of that. You're telling the universe, give me more things to worry about. Give me more things to stress about. Give me more evidence that nothing works. And the universe, being the obedient servant that it is, says, your wish is my command, and delivers exactly what you're asking for. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, but I've been positive, I've been visualizing, I've been affirming, and still nothing has changed. And here's what I want you to understand. There's a difference between thinking positive thoughts and actually believing them. There's a difference between saying affirmations and feeling them in your bones. There's a difference between visualizing what you want and truly expecting it to show up. When you expect something, you relax about it. When you truly believe something is coming, you don't worry about when or how. You just know. It's like when you order something online. You don't sit by the door wondering if it's going to come. You don't stay up at night worried that the delivery person might not show up. You ordered it, you paid for it, and you know it's coming. You go about your life, you relax, you trust the process, and then one day, ding dong, there it is at your door. That's how manifestation works when you truly understand it. You place your order with the universe through your thoughts, your feelings, your intentions, and then you relax. You trust. You go about your life knowing that what you've asked for is already on its way. You live from the end result. You feel now the way you'll feel when it arrives. You act now the way you'll act when it's here. And in doing that, you collapse time. You speed up the manifestation process. You open yourself up to receiving it the same day. Yes, the same day. Not someday. Not eventually. Not in some distant future when you've suffered enough or learned enough or grown enough, the same day. Because in the realm of spirit, in the realm of infinite possibilities, time doesn't exist the way we think it does. Everything already exists. Every possibility, every outcome, every version of your life already exists right now in the quantum field. Your job is not to create it. Your job is to align with it. Your job is to become a vibrational match to what you want. And you can't become a vibrational match to abundance while you're vibrating in lack. You can't become a vibrational match to health while you're vibrating in disease. You can't become a vibrational match to love while you're vibrating in loneliness. You have to shift your energy first. You have to relax first. You have to trust first. You have to feel it first. And then the physical manifestation follows. This is where most people get it backwards. They think, I'll be happy when I have the money. I'll be peaceful when I have the relationship. I'll be confident when I have the success. And that's exactly why it never comes. You have to be happy first. You have to be peaceful first. You have to be confident first. You have to feel it before you see it. You have to believe it before it becomes visible. That's the secret. That's what all the great teachers throughout history have been trying to tell us. When you relax, when you let go of the struggle, when you stop trying to force things to happen, you open up a channel for the universe to work through you and for you. You allow miracles to occur. You allow synchronicities to show up. You allow the right people, the right opportunities, the right circumstances to come into your life at exactly the right time. I've seen this happen over and over again in my own life and in the lives of countless others. The moment you truly let go, the moment you truly surrender, the moment you truly trust, things start to shift. Sometimes in big ways, sometimes in small ways, but they always shift. Because you've changed your energy, you've changed your vibration, you've changed what you're broadcasting to the universe. And here's something else that's really important to understand. When I say expect it the same day, I'm not just talking about material things. I'm talking about peace. I'm talking about joy. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about healing. I'm talking about answers to your questions. I'm talking about solutions to your problems. You don't have to wait for these things. You can have them right now in this moment simply by choosing them. Peace is available to you right now. Not when your circumstances change, not when you finally get what you want, not when everyone around you approves of you. Right now, in this breath, in this moment, you can choose peace. You can choose to relax into the knowing that everything is working out for your highest good. You can choose to trust that the universe has your back. And when you make that choice, when you really make it, not just with your words, but with your whole being, something miraculous happens. The things you've been chasing start chasing you. The doors you've been trying to force open start opening effortlessly. The answers you've been seeking start revealing themselves. The people you need start showing up. The opportunities you've been praying for start presenting themselves. But you have to relax first. You have to trust first. You have to let go of the need to control every detail. You have to stop micromanaging the universe. You have to stop thinking you know better than infinite intelligence how things should unfold. You have to get out of your own way. Your ego wants to figure it all out. Your ego wants to know the plan. Your ego wants guarantees and certainties and step-by-step instructions. But your higher self, your true self, the part of you that's connected to source energy, knows that the best way forward is often not the way you would have planned. The best opportunities often come in disguises. The greatest blessings often arrive through unexpected channels. So when you relax and trust, you're not giving up. You're not being passive. You're actually being smart. You're working with the universe instead of against it. You're allowing infinite intelligence to guide you instead of relying solely on your limited human perspective. You're opening yourself up to possibilities that your logical mind could never conceive. Think about the times in your life when things worked out better than you could have planned. Think about the times when what you thought was a setback turned out to be a setup for something better. Think about the times when a closed door led you to an open door you didn't even know existed. That's what happens when you let go of control. That's what happens when you trust the process. That's what happens when you relax into the flow of life. Now, I know some of you are dealing with real challenges right now. I know some of you are facing situations that feel overwhelming. I know some of you are wondering how you're supposed to relax when everything seems to be falling apart. And I want to say to you, with all the love in my heart, this is exactly when you need to relax the most. This is exactly when you need to trust the most. This is exactly when you need to remember that you are not alone, that you are supported, that you are loved by a power greater than anything you can comprehend. When you're in the middle of a storm, the worst thing you can do is panic. The worst thing you can do is flail around and exhaust yourself fighting against the waves. The best thing you can do is take a breath, center yourself, and trust that you know how to swim. Trust that the storm will pass. Trust that you have within you the strength and the wisdom and the resources to handle whatever comes your way. And here's what happens when you do that. You tap into a power that's beyond your personal power. You tap into the power of the universe itself. You tap into the same power that causes flowers to bloom and planets to orbit and your heart to beat without you thinking about it. And that power is infinite. That power is unlimited. That power can do in a moment what would take you years to accomplish on your own. But you have to let it in. You have to create space for it. You have to get your limited thinking out of the way. And you do that by relaxing. You do that by trusting. You do that by expecting good things to come to you. Not someday, not eventually, but right now, today, the same day you ask for them. This is not wishful thinking. This is not magical thinking. This is understanding how energy works. This is understanding how creation works. This is understanding that you are not separate from the universe. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are a powerful creator who is always, always, always creating your experience through the thoughts you think and the feelings you feel and the beliefs you hold. So if you've been struggling, if you've been trying so hard and getting nowhere, if you've been feeling frustrated and exhausted and ready to give up, I want you to try something different. I want you to stop. I want you to take a breath. I want you to relax your shoulders. I want you to soften your face. I want you to let go of the tension you've been carrying. And I want you to say to yourself, I trust. I trust that everything is working out for my highest good. I trust that what I need is coming to me. I trust that I am supported. I trust that I am loved. I trust that I am exactly where I need to be. And mean it. Don't just say the words. Feel them. Believe them. Let them sink into your bones. Let them change your energy. Let them shift your vibration. Because when you do that, everything changes. Not in some distant future. Not someday when you've earned it. Right now. In this moment, the same day. You see, the universe doesn't reward struggle. The universe rewards alignment. The universe rewards harmony. The universe rewards the person who is in a state of allowing, not the person who is in a state of resistance. And when you're trying so hard, when you're pushing so hard, when you're forcing so hard, you're in resistance. You're telling the universe, I don't trust you. I don't believe you can deliver. I have to do this all by myself. And the universe, respecting your free will, steps back and says, okay, if that's what you believe, if that's what you want, go ahead and try to do it all yourself. And you struggle and you strain and you exhaust yourself, and it still doesn't work. Because that's not how it's designed to work. It's designed to be easy. It's designed to be joyful. It's designed to flow. When you're in alignment with source energy, when you're in harmony with the universe, life flows. Doors open, opportunities appear, the right people show up, the money comes, the healing happens, the love arrives, not because you forced it, not because you struggled for it, but because you allowed it, because you relaxed into it, because you trusted it. And I want to be clear about something. Relaxing and trusting doesn't mean you don't take action. It means you take inspired action instead of desperate action. It means you move forward from a place of knowing instead of a place of fear. It means you do what you're guided to do, what feels right, what lights you up, rather than what you think you should do or what everyone else is doing or what worked for someone else. When you're relaxed and trusting, you're more connected to your intuition. You're more connected to your inner guidance. You're more connected to the wisdom that's always available to you when you're quiet enough to hear it, and that guidance will never lead you wrong. It will never tell you to do something that's not in your highest good. It will never steer you in the wrong direction. But you can't hear that guidance when you're in panic mode. You can't hear it when you're in stress mode. You can't hear it when you're constantly worried and anxious and afraid. You have to calm down. You have to center yourself. You have to create space for that still small voice to speak to you. And then you have to trust what it tells you. You have to follow it even when it doesn't make logical sense. You have to believe that it knows better than your rational mind what's best for you. This is faith, real faith, not believing that some external deity is going to swoop down and save you, but believing that you are connected to an infinite source of wisdom and power and love that is always guiding you, always supporting you, always working on your behalf. And when you have that kind of faith, when you really trust at that level, you can relax, you can let go. You can expect your good to come to you the same day because you know it's already done. You know it's already handled. You know that in the realm of spirit, in the realm of infinite possibilities, what you desire already exists and is simply waiting for you to align with it. And how do you align with it? By feeling now the way you'll feel when it arrives. By living now the way you'll live when it's here. By being now the person you'll be when you have what you want. You don't wait for the evidence to believe. You believe first, and then the evidence shows up. That's the order. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked for every person who has ever manifested anything they desired. Think about people who have achieved great success. Think about people who have overcome incredible odds. Think about people who have healed from supposedly incurable diseases. Think about people who have created amazing lives from nothing. What did they all have in common? They believed before they saw. They expected their good before it was visible. They relaxed into the knowing that what they wanted was possible, was probable, was inevitable. And then it showed up. Not because they were special, not because they were chosen, but because they understood the law. They understood how energy works. They understood that they had to be it before they could have it. So where in your life are you still waiting? Where are you still saying, I'll be happy when? Where are you still postponing your joy, your peace, your fulfillment until some external condition is met? Because I'm here to tell you that you can have it now, you can feel it now, you can be it now, and when you do, the external circumstances will rearrange themselves to match your internal state. This is not theory. This is not philosophy. This is practical spiritual truth. This is how the universe operates, and you can test it. You can prove it to yourself. Start today. Start right now. Choose something you've been wanting. It doesn't have to be something big. In fact, it's better to start with something small, something that doesn't have a lot of emotional charge attached to it, and then practice relaxing about it. Practice trusting that it's coming. Practice expecting it to show up the same day. And notice what happens. Notice how when you truly let go of the attachment, when you truly stop worrying about it, it shows up. Maybe not always the exact same day, because sometimes there's a little bit of lag time as the energy shifts and the circumstances rearrange. But it shows up faster than it would have if you were in stress and struggle mode. It shows up easier. It shows up in better ways than you could have orchestrated on your own. And as you experience this with small things, your faith grows, your trust deepens, your ability to relax increases. And then you can apply it to bigger things. You can apply it to the things you really want, the things you've been dreaming about, the things you've been praying for, and you'll find that the same principle applies. Relax and trust, and it comes. Expect it the same day, and the universe rushes to deliver it to you. But you have to do your part. You have to shift your energy. You have to change your vibration. You have to stop living in lack and start living in abundance. You have to stop living in fear and start living in faith. You have to stop living in doubt and start living in knowing. And the beautiful thing is, you can make this shift in an instant. It doesn't take years of therapy. It doesn't take decades of meditation. It doesn't require you to become a different person. It just requires you to remember who you really are. To remember that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. To remember that you are connected to infinite intelligence. To remember that you are loved and supported and guided every single moment of every single day. When you remember this, really remember it, not just know it intellectually, but feel it in your heart, everything changes. Your whole world transforms. Not because the world changed, but because you changed. And when you change your inner world, your outer world has no choice but to follow. That's the law. That's how it works. That's the promise. So right now, in this moment, make a decision. Decide that you're done struggling. Decide that you're done trying to force things to happen. Decide that you're done living in stress and worry and fear. Decide that from this moment forward, you're going to relax and trust. You're going to expect your good to come to you easily and effortlessly. You're going to live from the end result. You're going to be it before you see it. And watch what happens. Watch how doors start to open. Watch how opportunities start to appear. Watch how the right people start showing up. Watch how solutions start presenting themselves. Watch how your life starts to transform in ways you never could have planned or predicted. Watch how the same-day expectation becomes your new reality. Because here's the truth. You don't have to wait. You never had to wait. The only thing that was ever in your way was your own belief that you had to wait, your own belief that you weren't worthy yet, your own belief that you had to suffer first, struggle first, prove yourself first. But none of that is true. None of that has ever been true. You are worthy right now. You are ready right now. You are enough right now. And the universe is not testing you. The universe is not making you wait to see if you're serious. The universe is not punishing you for past mistakes. The universe is simply responding to your energy. And when you shift your energy to one of relaxation, trust, and expectation, the universe shifts its response. It has its law. It's not personal. It's not arbitrary. It's as reliable as the sunrise. So breathe, let go. Release the grip you've been holding on everything. Stop trying to control every outcome. Stop worrying about every detail. Stop obsessing over when and how and where. Just be, just trust, just know. And let the universe do what it does best, which is deliver to you everything you need exactly when you need it. Your only job is to stay in alignment, to stay in a state of allowing, to stay connected to source energy. And you do that by feeling good. You do that by choosing thoughts that feel better. You do that by focusing on what you want instead of what you don't want. You do that by appreciating what you have instead of complaining about what you lack. You do that by being grateful for what's already shown up and excited about what's on its way. When you live like this, when you make this your daily practice, miracles become normal. Synchronicities become commonplace. Manifestations become expected. Because you've raised your vibration to a level where these things are natural. You've aligned yourself with the flow of the universe. You've become a cooperative component with the energy that creates worlds. And from this place, anything is possible. Anything. Not just the things you think are realistic. Not just the things that seem probable based on your current circumstances. Anything your heart truly desires. Because your desires are not random. Your desires were placed in your heart by the same source that created you. And that source would never give you a desire without also providing the means to fulfill it. So if you desire it, if you truly desire it, not from ego but from soul, it's already yours. It exists for you. It's waiting for you. All you have to do is relax and trust and expect it. All you have to do is become a vibrational match to it. All you have to do is be the person who has it. Feel the way you'd feel if you had it. Live the way you'd live if it was already here. And when you do that consistently, when you make that your way of being, the physical manifestation must follow. It's law. It's not a maybe. It's not a hope. It's not a wish. It's a certainty. And the more you practice this, the faster the manifestations come. The more you relax and trust, the more the same day expectation becomes your reality. This is the life you were meant to live. A life of ease, a life of flow, a life of joy. A life where you create deliberately and consciously, where you know you're supported, where you trust the process, where you expect miracles. Not because you're special, but because you finally understand how this whole thing works. You finally understand that you are not separate from the creative force of the universe. You are an expression of it. You are an extension of it. You are it. And when you know this, really know this, everything is possible. Everything is available. Everything is accessible. Right here, right now. The same day, every day, all the time. Because you're not waiting for the universe to give you permission. You're not waiting for circumstances to change. You're not waiting to become someone different. You're simply aligning with what already is, what has always been, what will always be. So relax, trust, expect it, live it, be it, and watch your life transform before your very eyes. Watch as what you once thought was impossible becomes not only possible but inevitable. Watch as the struggles fall away and the flow takes over. Watch as you step into the life you were always meant to live, the life that's been waiting for you all along, the life you can have the same day you decide you're ready for it. Because you are ready. You've always been ready. The universe has been ready. Everything has been ready. The only thing that was ever not ready was your belief that you were ready. But now you know. Now you understand. Now you can step forward with confidence and trust and expectation. Now you can relax into the knowing that everything you need is coming to you, is already on its way, is actually already here, just waiting for you to tune into the frequency of it. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your invitation to live differently, to be different, to experience life from a higher perspective. Accept that invitation. Step into that possibility. Become that person. And never look back. Because once you've tasted this way of living, once you've experienced what it's like to relax and trust and expect your good the same day, you'll never want to go back to the old way of struggle and stress and worry. You'll know in your bones that there's a better way. You'll know in your heart that you're supported. You'll know in your soul that you're loved. And from that place of knowing, you'll create a life beyond your wildest dreams. Not someday, not eventually, not in some distant future, but starting today, starting now, starting this very moment, because the universe is ready to give you everything you've been asking for. The only question is, are you ready to receive it? The answer is yes. You are ready. You've always been ready. So relax, trust, expect it, and let the magic unfold. There's something I want you to consider that might shift everything for you right now. Every single person who has ever walked this earth has had access to the same universal power that you have access to right this moment. The same power, the same source, the same infinite intelligence. The difference between those who live extraordinary lives and those who live in quiet desperation is not talent, not luck, not circumstances of birth. The difference is in their relationship with this power. The difference is in their willingness to get out of their own way and let it work through them. You've been conditioned to believe that you have to earn everything, that nothing comes without hard labor and sacrifice, that if you're not exhausted, you haven't done enough. But let me ask you something. Does the sun work hard to shine? Does the ocean struggle to create waves? Does your body have to try to heal a cut on your finger? No. These things happen naturally, automatically, effortlessly, because they're operating according to universal laws. They're in harmony with the way things work. And you can operate the same way. You can live in that same harmony. You can tap into that same effortless power. But first, you have to stop believing that you're separate from it. You have to stop thinking that you're just this limited human being trying to survive in a hostile world. You have to recognize that you are part of something so much bigger, so much more magnificent, so much more powerful than your limited mind can conceive. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? For most people, they immediately start thinking about their problems. They start worrying about their bills, their job, their relationships, their health. They start planning and strategizing and trying to figure out how they're going to make it through another day. And in doing that, they set the tone for their entire day. They tune themselves to the frequency of lack, of fear, of limitation. And then they wonder why nothing ever changes. What if instead, the first thing you did was connect with source energy? What if you started your day by feeling grateful for the breath in your lungs and the bed beneath you and the new day ahead? What if you spent just 5 minutes feeling the way you want to feel, thinking thoughts that feel good, aligning yourself with the energy of what you desire? Do you know what would happen? Your entire day would be different. Your entire life would be different. Because here's what most people don't understand. You're not creating your life through your actions. You're creating your life through your vibration. Your actions are important, yes, but they're secondary. They're the result of your vibration, not the cause of your success. When you're vibrating at a high frequency, when you're in alignment with source energy, the right actions become obvious. You're guided to do the right things at the right time. You don't have to struggle to figure it out. You don't have to force anything. It flows. And this is why relaxing and trusting is so powerful. When you relax, when you let go of the need to control everything, when you trust that you're being guided, you raise your vibration naturally. You move out of resistance and into allowing. You create space for miracles to happen. You open the door for the universe to surprise and delight you in ways you never imagined. Think about water. When water encounters an obstacle, does it fight against it? Does it try to force its way through? No. Water flows around the obstacle. Water finds the path of least resistance. And eventually, over time, water can wear down even the hardest stone. Not through force, not through struggle, but through persistent, gentle, natural flow. You can be like water. You can flow through your life instead of fighting through it. You can move around obstacles instead of exhausting yourself trying to break through them. You can trust that if a door is closed, there's a better door waiting to open. You can relax into the knowing that the universe is always working in your favor, even when it doesn't look that way from your limited perspective. So I've watched people transform their entire lives in an instant simply by changing their relationship with time. They stopped living in the future, always thinking, when this happens, then I'll be happy. They stopped living in the past, replaying old hurts and disappointments. They started living right now, in this present moment, which is the only moment that actually exists, the only moment where you have any real power. When you bring your awareness fully into the present moment, something magical happens. The worry falls away. The stress dissolves. The fear evaporates. Because all of those things exist only in thoughts about the future or the past. They don't exist in the now. In the now, in this present moment, you are okay. You're breathing. You're alive. You're here. And from this place of presence, you can access the infinite power that's always available to you. This is why meditation is so transformative. Not because you're trying to empty your mind or achieve some special state, but because you're practicing being present. You're practicing letting go. You're practicing trusting. You're practicing relaxing into this moment exactly as it is. And the more you practice this, the more it becomes your natural way of being. The more you can carry this presence, this trust, this relaxation into every area of your life. Your life is not happening to you. Your life is responding to you. Every moment, you're sending out signals through your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, your expectations. And every moment, the universe is receiving those signals and responding accordingly. When you understand this, really understand it, you realize that you have so much more power than you ever thought possible. You realize that you're not a victim. You're not at the mercy of circumstances. You're a creator. You're always creating, whether you're doing it consciously or unconsciously. So the question becomes, what do you want to create? What do you want your life to look like? How do you want to feel? Who do you want to be? And once you're clear on that, your job is simple. Align with it. Feel it. Be it. Live it. Now. Not someday. Now. The universe doesn't understand someday. The universe only understands now. When you say, I'll be happy someday, the universe hears, I'm choosing not to be happy now, and it keeps happiness in your future always just out of reach. But when you choose to be happy now, when you choose to feel abundant now, when you choose to feel loved now, the universe says yes and starts bringing you more reasons to feel happy, abundant, and loved. This is the secret that changes everything. You don't wait for your life to change to feel different. You feel different first, and then your life changes. You don't wait for evidence to believe. You believe first, and then the evidence shows up. You don't wait for permission to live fully. You give yourself permission right now, and then life opens up for you in ways you never dreamed possible. So stop waiting. Stop postponing your joy. Stop thinking you have to have everything figured out before you can relax and trust. You don't. You can relax and trust right now exactly as you are, exactly where you are. And when you do, everything starts to shift. Not because the universe finally decided to help you, but because you finally got out of your own way and allowed what was always there to flow to you and through you. This is your birthright. This is what you came here to experience. Not struggle, not suffering, not endless waiting and wanting, but joy, flow, ease, abundance, love, all of it, right now. The same day you decide you're ready for it, the same day you align with it, the same day you become it. You know, right now, in this very moment, millions of people are rushing. They're running towards something they think they need to catch. They're sprinting through their days, their weeks, their entire lives, as if there's some invisible finish line waiting for them. And the tragedy is this: they have no idea where that finish line is or what they'll get when they cross it. They just know they need to run faster. Run harder, keep going, don't stop, don't slow down. Because if you slow down, someone might pass you. If you stop, you might fall behind. And falling behind, well, that's the worst thing that could possibly happen, right? Wrong. Life is not a race. It never was. It never will be. But somewhere along the way, we got confused. We started believing that our worth is measured by how fast we move, how much we accumulate, how many boxes we can check off some imaginary list that society handed us. We started running, and we forgot to ask ourselves a simple question. Where am I running to? And more importantly, why am I running at all? When you were born, you weren't in a hurry. You didn't come into this world with a stopwatch around your neck and a list of achievements you needed to accomplish by age 5, 10, or 25. You came here whole, complete, and perfect. You came here with everything you needed already inside you. You were born with gifts, with talents, with a unique way of seeing the world that no one else has. You were born to express yourself, to create, to love, to experience the fullness of this human experience. But then something happened. The world started telling you stories. Stories about who you should be, what you should want, how fast you should get there. And slowly, gradually, you started to believe these stories. You started to think that your value is determined by external things, by your job title, by your bank account, by the car you drive or the house you live in, by how you compare to the person next to you, by whether you're ahead or behind in some race that nobody really understands. And once you started believing these stories, you started running. You had to keep up. You had to prove yourself. You had to show the world, and maybe more importantly, show yourself, that you were good enough, worthy enough, successful enough. But here's what nobody tells you. The race is an illusion. It doesn't exist. It's a construct, a story, a collective agreement we've all bought into without questioning it. And the moment you realize this, everything changes. The moment you understand that there is no race, you can stop running. You can catch your breath. You can look around and actually see where you are, who you're with, what's available to you right now in this present moment. Because the truth is, you're not behind. You never were. You're not ahead either. You're exactly where you need to be, right here, right now, in this moment. This is your life. Not the life you'll have when you finally achieve that goal. Not the life you'll live when you finally get that promotion or lose that weight or find that relationship. This moment right now is your life. And if you're so busy running towards some future destination, you're missing it. You're missing the only thing that's real, the only thing that actually exists. Now, think about it for a moment. When you're running, what are you focused on? The future. Some imaginary point in time when things will be better, when you'll finally be happy, when you'll finally be able to relax and enjoy yourself. You're always looking ahead, always focused on what's next, what's coming, what you still need to do. And in the process, you're completely absent from your own life. You're not tasting your food. You're not hearing the laughter of your children. You're not feeling the sun on your face or the ground beneath your feet. You're not present with the people you love. You're somewhere else, always somewhere else, in some future that never quite arrives. Because here's the trick, here's the cosmic joke. When you finally get to that future destination, when you finally achieve that goal you've been running toward, you don't stop. You don't suddenly become present and grateful and satisfied. No, you just set a new goal. You move the finish line a little further down the road. You find something else to chase, something else to prove, something else that you convince yourself you need in order to be happy, and the running continues. The race goes on. And your life, your precious, beautiful, unrepeatable life, continues to pass you by. I've seen this pattern in countless people. They work themselves to exhaustion, trying to climb the corporate ladder, thinking that the next promotion will bring them fulfillment. They get the promotion, and there's a brief moment of satisfaction, maybe a day or a week, and then what? They're looking at the next rung on the ladder. They're comparing themselves to someone who's higher up. They're back in the race, running again. Or they think that finding the right relationship will complete them, will make them whole. They find someone, and it's wonderful for a while, but then they start focusing on what's wrong with the relationship, what's missing, how it could be better. They're running even within their relationships, trying to reach some ideal that exists only in their minds. The same thing happens with money, with possessions, with status, with everything external. You think you need a certain amount of money to feel secure. You reach that amount, and the number just goes up. You think you need a bigger house, a nicer car, a better vacation. You get those things, and they don't deliver the lasting happiness you expected. Because happiness, real happiness, doesn't come from external circumstances. It never has, and it never will. Happiness is an inside job. It's a choice you make, a state of being you cultivate, regardless of what's happening around you. When you're running through life, you're operating from a mindset of lack, of scarcity. You're telling yourself, either consciously or unconsciously, that something is missing, that you're not enough as you are, that you need to acquire something, achieve something, become something different in order to be worthy, in order to be happy, in order to be at peace. And this mindset creates suffering. It creates anxiety, stress, dissatisfaction, and a constant feeling of restlessness. Because no matter what you get, no matter what you achieve, it's never enough. There's always more to do, more to get, more to become. But what if you stopped? What if, right now, you simply stopped running? What if you took a breath, looked around, and asked yourself, what if I'm already enough? What if there's nothing wrong with me, nothing missing, nothing I need to fix or change or acquire? What if I'm already whole, already complete, already worthy of love and happiness and peace? What would happen if you believed that? Everything would change. Because when you stop running, when you step out of the race, you create space. Space to breathe, space to think, space to feel, space to be. You create space to hear your own inner voice, the voice that's been trying to guide you all along, but that you couldn't hear over the noise of the race. You create space to connect with what truly matters to you, with your values, your passions, your purpose. You create space to be present with the people you love, to actually see them, hear them, appreciate them. You create space for joy, for gratitude, for wonder, for all the beautiful things that can only be experienced when you're present, when you're here, when you're not running. And here's something else that happens when you stop running. You realize that you have enough. You have enough time. You have enough money. You have enough love. You have enough of everything you truly need. The feeling of lack, of scarcity, of never having enough, that's just a story. It's a belief you've been carrying, not a truth. When you slow down and actually look at your life, really look at it, you see abundance everywhere. You see all the things you've been taking for granted while you were busy chasing something else. You see the miracle of your own existence, the gift of each breath, each moment, each experience. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have goals or dreams or things you want to create or achieve. That's not what this is about. Goals are wonderful. They give us direction, they inspire us, they call us forward. But there's a big difference between moving towards something because it excites you, because it's an expression of who you are, and running towards something because you think you need it in order to be worthy or happy or enough. The first is joyful creation. The second is suffering. When you move through life from a place of wholeness, from a place of already being enough, your goals become expressions of your joy, not requirements for your happiness. You pursue things because you want to, because they align with your values and your vision, not because you feel like you have to in order to prove something. And interestingly, when you approach life this way, things often unfold more easily, because you're not pushing and forcing and struggling. You're allowing, you're flowing. You're trusting that you're being guided, that you're exactly where you need to be, learning what you need to learn, growing in the ways you need to grow. This is what it means to live from the inside out rather than the outside in. When you live from the outside in, you let external circumstances dictate your internal state. If things are going well according to society's standards, you feel good. If things aren't going well, you feel bad. Your happiness is like a boat on the ocean, tossed around by waves you have no control over. But when you live from the inside out, you recognize that your internal state is your choice. You choose how you want to feel, how you want to show up, how you want to experience this moment, regardless of what's happening around you. You become like a lighthouse, stable and grounded, shining your light no matter what storms may be raging. And this requires a fundamental shift in how you think about success. The world tells you that success is about what you have, what you've accomplished, what you can show for yourself. But real success, true success, is about who you are, how you feel, how you treat others, how present you are in your own life. Real success is waking up in the morning feeling grateful for another day. Real success is being able to look at yourself in the mirror and genuinely like the person you see. Real success is having loving relationships with the people who matter to you. Real success is doing work that feels meaningful, that aligns with your values, that allows you to express your unique gifts. Real success is being at peace, being content, being here now. You see, when you're racing through life, you're always focused on the destination. You're always thinking about where you're going, what you're trying to reach. And in doing so, you completely miss the journey. You miss the process, the experiences, the growth, the lessons, the beauty that exists in every single step along the way. But life isn't about the destination. How could it be? The ultimate destination for all of us is the same. We're all going to die. That's the one thing we can be absolutely certain about. So if life is about reaching a destination, then life is about dying, which doesn't make much sense, does it? No, life is about the journey. Life is about what happens between your birth and your death. It's about the experiences you have, the people you love, the things you create, the ways you grow, the moments you're present for. It's about the journey, not the destination. And when you're running, you're not on a journey. You're just trying to get somewhere else as fast as possible, which means you're not really living at all. There's an old story about a group of explorers who hired some local guides to help them trek through a jungle. The explorers were in a hurry, pushing hard, trying to cover as much ground as possible each day. They kept urging the guides to move faster, to keep going. But after 3 days of this rapid pace, the guides suddenly stopped and sat down. The explorers were frustrated and asked why they were stopping. One of the guides replied, "We've been moving too fast. We need to stop now and wait for our souls to catch up with our bodies." That's what happens when we're running through life. Our souls can't keep up. We're moving so fast. We're so disconnected from ourselves, from our essence, from what truly matters. We become like machines, just going through the motions, checking boxes, completing tasks, but not really living, not really feeling, not really being. And then we wonder why we feel empty, why we feel unfulfilled, why nothing seems to satisfy us. It's because we've left the most important part of ourselves behind. Your soul isn't interested in the race. Your soul doesn't care about your job title or your bank account or how you compare to your neighbors. Your soul cares about love, about truth, about beauty, about connection, about expression, about growth. Your soul wants you to be present, to be authentic, to be real. Your soul wants you to slow down, to breathe, to feel, to be here now. And when you're running, you can't hear your soul. You can't feel its guidance. You can't experience the peace and joy that come from being aligned with your deepest truth. So how do you stop running? How do you step out of the race? It starts with awareness. It starts with noticing that you're running, recognizing the patterns, seeing the ways you've bought into the story that you're not enough as you are. It starts with questioning the beliefs you've been carrying, the assumptions you've been making about what you need in order to be happy. It starts with getting honest with yourself about what you truly value, what truly matters to you, not what you've been told should matter. And then it requires a choice, a decision. You have to decide that you're going to stop. You have to decide that you're going to step off the treadmill, even if it scares you, even if everyone around you is still running, even if you're not sure what will happen if you stop. You have to decide that you're willing to trust yourself, to trust life, to trust that you'll be okay, that you'll be more than okay if you stop trying so hard and just let yourself be. This doesn't mean you become lazy or unmotivated or that you stop caring about things. Not at all. In fact, when you stop running, you often become more effective, more creative, more productive because you're no longer operating from fear and anxiety. You're operating from clarity and purpose and alignment. You're doing things because they matter to you, not because you think you should or because you're trying to prove something. And when you're doing things from that place, they become easier, more enjoyable, more fulfilling. One of the most powerful things you can do is to spend time in silence, in stillness. Just sit quietly, without distractions, without your phone, without anything to do. Just sit and breathe and be. At first, this might feel uncomfortable. Your mind might race. You might feel anxious or restless. That's normal. That's just all the energy you've been using to run, looking for somewhere to go. But if you stay with it, if you keep sitting, keep breathing, keep being present, something begins to shift. You begin to settle. You begin to come home to yourself. You begin to reconnect with that quiet voice inside, the one that knows the truth, the one that's been there all along. And as you practice this, as you spend more time in stillness, you begin to see your life differently. You begin to notice things you've been missing. You begin to appreciate things you've been taking for granted. You begin to feel gratitude for the simple fact of being alive, of having this opportunity to be here, to experience this incredible adventure called life. You begin to realize that you don't need to prove anything, that you don't need to earn your worthiness, that you already have everything you need right here, right now. Another thing that helps is to get clear on your values, on what truly matters to you. Not what society says should matter, not what your parents or your friends or your colleagues think should matter, but what actually matters to you in your heart. Is it connection? Is it creativity? Is it growth? Is it contribution? Is it peace? Is it love? Get clear on these things, and then look at how you're spending your time and energy. Are you living in alignment with your values, or are you running after things that don't really matter to you because you think you're supposed to? When you align your life with your values, everything becomes simpler. Decisions become easier. You know what to say yes to and what to say no to. You stop doing things out of obligation or fear or the need to impress others. You start doing things because they feel right, because they align with who you are and what you care about. And when you live this way, you stop feeling like you're in a race, because you're not trying to get anywhere other than where you already are. You're not trying to be anyone other than who you already are. Let me tell you something important. Comparison is the thief of joy. When you're running through life, you're constantly comparing yourself to others. You're looking at what they have, what they've achieved, where they are, and measuring yourself against them. And this is torture, because there will always be someone who has more, who's achieved more, who seems to be doing better. There will always be someone ahead of you in the imaginary race. And as long as you're comparing, you'll never be satisfied. You'll never be enough. But when you stop running, when you come back to yourself, comparison loses its power. You realize that everyone is on their own path, their own journey. What someone else has or hasn't achieved has nothing to do with you. Their success doesn't diminish yours. Their happiness doesn't diminish yours. There's enough for everyone. There's no competition except the one you create in your own mind. And when you release that competition, when you genuinely celebrate others' success instead of feeling threatened by it, you free yourself. You open up space for your own joy, your own success, your own unique expression. Think about children for a moment. Watch young children play, and you'll see what it looks like to live without running. Children are completely present. They're absorbed in whatever they're doing, whether it's building a sandcastle or chasing a butterfly or making up a story. They're not worried about the future. They're not concerned with how they compare to other children. They're just being, just playing, just experiencing life as it unfolds. And they're joyful, they're spontaneous, they're free. That joy, that spontaneity, that freedom, it's still inside you. It never left. It just got covered up by all the stories you've been telling yourself, all the beliefs you've accumulated, all the racing and striving and trying to be something other than what you are. But it's still there, waiting for you to come back, waiting for you to remember what you knew before you learned to run. And here's what happens when you stop running, when you come back to yourself. When you choose to live from presence instead of fear, you become magnetic. You become attractive, not in a superficial way, but in a real way. People are drawn to you because you're real, because you're present, because you're not trying to be something you're not. You inspire others, not by what you've achieved or what you have, but by how you are, by the peace and joy and authenticity you radiate. You give others permission to stop running too, just by your example. And you start to see life as the gift it truly is. Every moment becomes precious. Every experience, even the challenging ones, becomes an opportunity for growth, for learning, for deepening. You stop resisting what is and start accepting it, working with it, learning from it. You stop waiting for life to begin and realize it's been happening all along. You've just been too busy running to notice. The race, my friend, is an illusion. It's a story we've been telling ourselves, a game we've been playing without realizing we have a choice. But we do have a choice. We always have a choice. And the choice is simple, though not always easy. We can keep running, keep chasing, keep trying to reach some imaginary finish line that will always move further away. Or we can stop, we can breathe. We can be here now, we can live. Because life is not a race. Life is a gift. Life is an opportunity. Life is a miracle unfolding in every moment. And the only way to experience it, the only way to truly live it, is to stop running and start being present. To stop trying to get somewhere else and start appreciating where you are. To stop trying to be someone else and start being fully, authentically, courageously yourself. You are enough. Right now, as you are enough. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, including yourself. You don't need to earn your worthiness. You don't need to achieve some arbitrary standard of success in order to deserve happiness or peace or love. You already deserve all of those things simply because you exist. You are a unique expression of life itself, and that makes you infinitely valuable, infinitely worthy, infinitely enough. So what would your life look like if you really believed that? What would you do differently? How would you spend your time? How would you treat yourself? How would you treat others? What would you let go of? What would you embrace? What would you say yes to? What would you say no to? These are important questions, and only you can answer them. But I encourage you to sit with them, to really consider them, to let them sink in and show you where you've been running and why, because awareness is the first step. Once you see the race for the illusion it is, you can choose to step out of it. You can choose to live differently. You can choose to be present, to be grateful, to be real, to be here now. And when you make that choice, when you really commit to it, something beautiful happens. Life stops being a burden and becomes an adventure. Challenges stop being problems and become opportunities. Other people stop being competition and become companions on the journey. You stop feeling like you're not doing enough or being enough, and you start feeling whole, complete, at peace. You stop waiting for happiness in the future and start experiencing joy right now. This moment, right now, is the only moment you have. It's the only moment that's real. The past is gone. It only exists in your memory. The future hasn't arrived yet. It only exists in your imagination. The only thing that's real, the only thing you can actually experience is now. And if you're always running towards some future moment, you're missing the only reality there is. You're missing your life. So stop. Just stop. Take a breath. Feel the air entering your lungs. Feel your body, your heart beating, your aliveness. Look around. Really see where you are. Who's with you? What's available to you right now? What can you appreciate? What can you be grateful for? This is your life, right here, right now. Not in the future, not when you finally achieve that goal or reach that destination. Right now. This is it. And when you really get this, when you really understand that this moment is all there is, you stop rushing, you stop running, you start savoring, you start appreciating, you start living. Because you realize that life isn't about getting somewhere, it's about being somewhere. And that somewhere is here. That sometime is now. And that someone is you, exactly as you are, enough just as you are, worthy just as you are, perfect in your imperfection, whole in your incompleteness, beautiful in your humanity. The race will always be there, calling to you, tempting you to jump back in. Society will keep pushing you to compare, to compete, to strive, to achieve. But now you know the truth. Now you know that you have a choice. You can run or you can live. You can chase or you can receive. You can struggle or you can flow. You can resist what is or you can embrace it. You can wait for happiness in the future or you can choose it right now. What will you choose? Not tomorrow, not when things are different. Right now, in this moment, what will you choose? Will you keep running or will you stop and breathe and be here? Will you keep trying to prove your worth or will you accept that you're already worthy? Will you keep chasing an illusion or will you receive the reality that's already here? The answer is yours. The choice is always yours. And whatever you choose, know that it's okay. There's no right or wrong. There's just awareness and choice and the consequences that flow from them. But also know this. You are loved. You are enough. You are worthy. And your life right now as it is a gift. Don't miss it by running through it. Don't miss it by always being somewhere else. Be here. Be now. Be you. Because life is not a race. It never was. And the moment you stop running, the moment you step out of the race and into the present, is the moment you truly begin to live. That's when the magic happens. That's when the joy arrives. That's when peace becomes possible. Not in some distant future, but right here, right now, in this beautiful, precious, unrepeatable moment that is your life. You know what's interesting? When you stop running, you actually start moving in a more meaningful direction. It seems contradictory, doesn't it? But it's true. When you're racing, you're often moving in circles, repeating the same patterns, chasing the same empty promises. But when you stop and get still, when you listen to that inner guidance, you start moving with purpose. You start moving with intention. Every step becomes deliberate, meaningful, aligned with who you truly are. And here's something else nobody talks about. The people who seem most successful, most fulfilled, most at peace, They're not the ones running the fastest. They're the ones who learn to walk their own path at their own pace. They're the ones who figured out that speed doesn't equal progress. They're the ones who understood that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is pause, reflect, and make sure you're heading in a direction that actually matters to you. Your energy is finite. You only have so much of it each day, each year, each lifetime. And when you're running, you're burning through that energy without any real return. You're exhausting yourself in pursuit of things that don't truly nourish you. But when you stop running and start being intentional about where you put your energy, everything changes. You invest your energy in things that matter, in relationships that feed your soul, in work that feels meaningful, in activities that bring you genuine joy, and suddenly, you're not tired all the time. You're not depleted. You're energized because you're finally using your life force in ways that align with your truth. There's tremendous courage required to stop running, because when you stop, you have to face yourself. You have to look at your life honestly and ask the hard questions. Why have I been running? What am I afraid of? What am I avoiding? What do I really want? Who am I without all the doing, all the achieving, all the striving? These questions can be uncomfortable, they can be scary, but they're also liberating, because on the other side of them is freedom. On the other side of them is authenticity. On the other side of them is the real you, the one who's been waiting patiently for you to come home. So take that first step. Maybe it's saying no to something you don't want to do. Maybe it's taking a day off without guilt. Maybe it's sitting in silence for 10 minutes. Maybe it's having an honest conversation with yourself about what you truly value. Whatever it is, take that step. Stop running, even if just for a moment. Feel what it's like to be still, to be present, to be here. And then take another step, and another. Because this is how you reclaim your life. This is how you step out of the race and into your truth. One conscious choice at a time. One present moment at a time. One authentic step at a time.